Hi, I'm Richard Stoyak of StocksAtBottom.com, and we wanted to talk with you today for a moment about the financial crisis in the United States. What's taken place here is over the last 6 or 7 years, since about 2001 or so, we've had a dramatic increase in housing prices in the United States. On average, the number comes up to about 76% in that period of time. Now, things have gotten out of hand because what happened is people just did not buy homes. They went out and speculated, and they bought condominiums, they bought additional homes, they bought additional rental properties because they thought that this increase would take place and go forever. Instead, what developed was a bubble. And bubbles, as we know, regardless of what the bubble is, at some point the bubble gets pricked and it has to burst. And now we're going through the other side of that financial housing expansion, which is a financial crisis. And this is a result of what we call subprime investing. And what's taken place there is that investors came in with very little to no documentation and bought properties to such an extent that they were in over their head. It's like being in a swimming pool, in a deep pool, and you can't swim. They had mortgages. Those mortgages were adjustable rate mortgages. They knew what the price was of the mortgage, but then the price would change 2 or 3 years down the road. So all of a sudden, instead of spending $1,200 per month on a mortgage, you were being asked to spend $2,400 a month or $2,800 a month. Most people thought they'd be able, okay, no problem, let's refinance. But then the entire industry, this subprime industry, disappeared. So refinancing became impossible because it didn't exist anymore. So now we've got to work our way out of this. And there's several million properties that over the next 2 years that we may see foreclosures on. So that's where we are in terms of this financial crisis. Now it's spilled over into Wall Street. How did that happen? Well, most of these huge investment banking firms like Bear Stearns put together these properties into a syndicate. They take $500,000 homes, $400,000 homes, the mortgages, put them together in a package of $100 million mortgages, $100 million of paper, and then sell the $100 million of paper off to institutions and other investors. Well, guess what? They said the paper was AAA rated. It's not AAA rated because the underlying paper was never AAA rated because it was subprime paper. But, that's how Wall Street works. So with a lack of transparency, and that's what we had, a lack of transparency, some of these investment banking firms seem on the verge of blowing up, and Bear Stearns is the first one to go. There may or may not be others. But think about what we've said and think about what this means for your portfolio. And if you have any other thoughts and questions and so forth, take a look at StocksAtBottom.com and we might be able to answer some of those questions for you. Thank you and have a great day, and thank you for joining us.